Hey everyone, I'm back with another recipe. I am going to teach you and hopefully inspire you to make an easy homemade loaded baked potato soup. Now I do have to say everything is vegetarian in this recipe, so the part that makes it the loaded is adding ham and bacon at the end. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create your vegetable base, which for me is pretty much garlic, onions, celery, and carrots. So I'm dicing all of this and I'm going to warm up olive oil in a pot over the stove. Now you can do this in a crock pot. Just grease the crock pot, or you can do it in an Instant Pot. You can grease that and you're going to set it on the saute features. I will have all of the details for this recipe over on the blog, so make sure you comment or look below if you can't find it. And there will be details how to do it on the pot on the stove, in the crock pot, or in the Instant Pot. So as you can see, I'm dicing this all. It's all going to go in the pot. It's going to be in there until all the vegetables are aromatic and they are soft. Now, I don't know about you, but I love to cook soups in the fall and wintertime. They warm my soul. They're enjoyable. There's so many healthy, nutritious ingredients that you can add to your pot. Pretty much the possibilities are endless. I do have several soup recipes over on my blog. I have a homemade old-fashioned cream of broccoli soup. I also have a butternut squash soup. I also have a chili recipe that's really great. It is a vegetarian chili recipe, but you can add meat in there if you like. But it's excellent without meat. You can't even tell the difference. So once everything, like I said, I am actually adding a few jalapenos in here because I have quite a few from my garden. You can do that, sneak that in there. My recipe doesn't call for that, but I am sneaking that in there because I want to use it up. Like I said, the possibilities are endless. Now is the time for me. I like to dice all my potatoes before I actually start sauteing my vegetables. So here I am just dicing all of my red skin potatoes. I keep the skins on because there's so much nutrients in the potato. It provides way more potassium, way more vitamin C. It helps lower blood pressure. There's so many great benefits. I do also add fresh thyme to this recipe, so get your hands on some of that. Some fresh green onions. Garlic is great this time of year along with the onions. It helps with cold and flu season. It helps relieve some of the symptoms and also gives a little bit of prevention. So make sure you're always incorporating those items in your cooking. I know I have a family member that does not personally like onions. So a lot of times what I'll do, they're not allergic to it. I'll I shouldn't say that. I will puree the onions and put them in there, or I'll use like onion powder or something like that. This recipe, I do have some dried spices that go in there: salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika. So make sure you have those items on hand. There is going to be a recipe card that you can print right over on the blog. You can also pin it, put it on your Pinterest board, pin it for later. If you're not going to make it this weekend, you can make it in the future. Once everything is cooked down, go ahead and add your red skin potatoes and your vegetable broth. I do like to make my own vegetable broth, but this time I'm using a box version because I didn't have time or enough scraps to do that. And once that is all in there, I go ahead and get everything a good mix, and I add that salt, pepper, paprika, onion, and garlic powder that we talked about. I'll add my sprigs of thyme in there. When this is all cooked thoroughly to my liking, I will make sure all of the thyme is off of the actual like branch and then pull that out so it's not in there. Bay leaf goes in there too as well. You're gonna let this cook over the stove for about 20 to 30 minutes, give or take. You want everything soft and incorporated and whatnot. If you're doing it in a crock pot, you're just going to adjust the time from when you start it to when you end it. So it can be anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. The Instant Pot, same thing. Once you have everything sauteed, you're going to throw everything in there. So there's not going to be, you're not going to be over the stove or over the crock pot in Instant Pot, babysitting it. The only thing you're going to do at the end is that's when you're going to take your immersion blender and you're going to blend everything up. So that is what I'm doing here. Now, if you don't have an immersion blender, any blender is fine. I don't actually blend the total amount of the soup. I like a little bit of chunk in it, so that's completely up to you. You also see me pull out that bay leaf, so don't forget to do that because you don't really want to blend that up. I mean, you could, but I usually pull that out once I get all the goodness from it. And then it's ready to go. You can top this, like I said, with some green onion, bacon, ham, cheddar cheese, if you like cheddar cheese, some sour cream. You can go ahead and add right on top fresh parsley as well. I like to cook with as much fresh and great ingredients as possible so you can get the most nutrition from your meal. And you can eat this for lunches the following day and into the week. And it's a great hearty recipe. Serve it with salad, bread, have a nice dessert at the end. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe and let me know if you make it. Thanks for stopping.